You were live in the CNN newsroom. I'm Jim Acosta in Washington, and we begin with tragedy in Nepal. At least 68 people are dead in the country's worst plane crash in 30 years. Search and rescue teams were at the site and will be back there at daylight on Monday. 4 people are still unaccounted for, and now the search for answers begins. This is apparently just moments before the crash. Take a look at this. The plane rolling on its side while flying low over a populated area, and then this. Our Vedika Sood is following the story, and she joins me now. Vedika, that video shows some really unusual movements by the plane just before it crashed. What more are you learning?
Quite a rare video there, isn't it, Jim? You barely see such videos just before a plane crash, but that was caught on camera. We believe that is just moments before the plane crash. Now, according to officials, 68 bodies have been recovered, 4 are yet to be recovered, and search efforts have stopped for the day, and they will resume Monday morning local time in Nepal. The Prime Minister has ordered a probe in Nepal, and a probe report is expected in the next 45 days. Now, officials don't know why this plane crashed, but what we do know is that most of the people on that plane were from Nepal. There were about 15 foreign nationals on the plane as well. What we also know is that this plane took off at about 10:30 local time in Nepal Sunday morning, and about 18 minutes into its flight path, it lost contact with the Pokhara airport where it was about to land and fell into a gorge. Now, it's been very difficult for search and rescue efforts. The first responders have been trying to ensure that they recover as many bodies as possible, but it's a treacherous terrain. And most of the plane crashes that we know that happen in this Himalayan nation are due to inclement weather and the treacherous terrain. We are yet to understand what really went wrong here. There's a day of mourning that's been announced Monday in Nepal, and Yeti Airlines will also not be flying any planes tomorrow. They are mourning the death of at least 68 passengers who were on board that plane, Jim.
All right, Vedika Sood, thank you very much for that update. We'll stay on top of it. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much. And joining me now is CNN transportation analyst Mary Schiavo, who was the Inspector General at the U.S. Department of Transportation. Mary, I want to play this video again that apparently showed the plane right before it crashed. Obviously, this is a problem. What stands out to you in this video?
Well, 2 things. First of all, it does look like a classic stall where you lose aerodynamic lift over your wings. The nose goes up, they look to be traveling very slowly, and then the left wing falls down. That's a classic stall. But we also saw this in a crash that CNN covered way back in 2015. I think it was called TransAsia. And in that case, they had one of the engines was shut down. And so they weren't getting asymmetric lift. But it does appear to be a stall in that particular footage that we can see in those airframes.
And what do you think investigators are going to be looking at? We understand that this is going to start up again Monday morning at daybreak. What will they be looking for?
Well, first and foremost, they're looking for the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. And they're also looking at the operational history of the airline and the aircraft. They will first and foremost go to grab the maintenance records to get the downloads of all the maintenance on the plane, the training records of the pilot. Now, there's information on the internet, who knows if it's accurate or not, that it was an experienced captain of 25 years and a first officer of 1 year. That's a kind of unusual pairing, but not necessarily if the first officer was still getting instruction. And also, interestingly, the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration had just done a review of Nepal aviation safety as part of a process the U.S. does to evaluate other nations to see if their airlines can fly to the United States. They weren't done with their evaluation yet, but the Nepal Airlines could not travel to the EU because of a prior International Civil Aviation Organization review of safety, and they weren't able to fly to the EU. So there was a lot going on in Nepal, and like I said, there was hope with the FAA evaluation that they could soon be flying other places, but this crash will certainly put a damper on that.
And Mary, Nepal is often referred to as one of the riskiest places on Earth to fly. Vedika was mentioning the terrain a few moments ago. Tell us more.
Well, it is, but so much of the of the tragedy, so many of the other accidents are related to the mountainous terrain, related to weather, sometimes related to equipment. It's some criticism of the operators in the area for training, for the condition and the maintenance on the equipment, et cetera. But usually, when there's an accident in Nepal, it's related to the terrain and the weather, just punishing weather. And there's really there's a lack of places in certain parts of Nepal to set down if you are having a problem. But none of those factors were present in this one, at least that we can tell at this point. Like I say, it does look like a classic stall, but we did, with CNN covered a number of years back, one that looked very similar, where they had the same kind of tape, where it had lost an engine. So the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder will give the investigators that answer. They'll probably download it if they can find it, probably by tomorrow or the next day, and they'll know right away.
All right, Mary Schiavo, thanks as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you.